Welcome back to The Five. Well, Casey is set to be released from jail on Sunday, but her legal troubles, they are far from over. She's now facing a civil suit for defamation from Zenaida Fernandez-Gonzalez, a woman with the same name as the fictitious babysitter that she falsely accused of kidnapping her daughter, Kaylee. Gonzalez's lawyer spoke out about his client earlier today.
She was an innocent bystander, had nothing to do with this, and had her life turned upside down because of false statements made about her that we now know from public statements were a fantasy from the beginning, but that doesn't help what happened to her. And we filed this thing in 2008, and we've been on the back burner for too long. We're about to get hot.
It's about to get hot in here, too, because this is what angers me about this particular case. This woman has a right to have her day in court, right? She's been defamed. Everybody knows who she is. She suffered a lot of trouble because of this, because Casey blamed her. And for 3 years, the whole story was Zanny the nanny took the baby, right, Andrea? Now we know she comes up with this story in jail. Oops, I'm sorry. Apparently, it was an accidental drowning. So now Casey's going to try and apparently avoid this, take the fifth, and because she's so stressed out from the trial, she wants the case continued.
Well, I also think it's absolutely ridiculous that Casey also is now trying to appeal these 4 charges against her. I'm so sick of this woman. I don't know if anyone else feels the same way, but shouldn't she just accept the punishment she was given? She skated out of there, right? Scot-free.
Right.
What is Jose Baez? I guess he's just getting cocky and thinking, let's try and she can't pay the $4,500 he wants to win.
Exactly. She can't pay the money, Bob. And then let's listen to Jose Baez, because he said, oh, you know, my client, she's a liar, she's this, she's that, she made a bad decision. Take a listen.
We all know Casey acted inappropriately and did it and made some mistakes and bad decisions. She should have called the police. She should have not attempted to block this out. She should have reported her death. There's no doubt about that, and that question was never contested.
There we go. It's Jose Baez saying, look, yeah, his client's guilty of that essentially, Bob, but you know, now he's going to pay the money.
Where do they find these lawyers down there? First of all, that guy reminds me of a former drug dealer I used to have, and the other guy, that guy, the bald-headed guy that has that southern accent, does you wonder why you're on the back burner?
Oh,
you're
Jamie
ugly
Mason.
and you're dumb, and you're an excuse for a bad disease. I mean, come on.
Be positive. It's Friday after all.
Be positive about lawyers? Are you kidding me?
I don't know. What do you make of it, Eric?
I think Casey Anthony, she burned a wide path through human decency and reason, and she shouldn't be able to be enriched by it. I know she's innocent, Kim, but look, the people from EquiSearch.
She's not innocent. She's found not guilty.
Same thing.
In this case, it's
the same
difference.
Look, if you're not going to jail, it's the same exact result, same thing. But the point is, look, go for it. I think EquiSearch should. I think they should recoup that $100,000 that they're going for, because they spent all that manpower. Can you imagine those people looking for a body all the while she knew there was nobody to be found?
That's why, I mean, I'm not getting too angry about the fact that she's going to make money, because she's never going to be able to keep it, because for every dollar she makes, she's going to get sued. But I think there's a silver lining here, because Drew Peterson is back in the news. Remember the suspected wife killer? He's single. And she's single, so I think they're a perfect couple, because he's the perfect husband for
a love connection.
Yeah, he's a perfect husband for a child killer, because they get married and then she'll disappear.
Yeah, first of all, you were the one who said you thought she was hot last week. But can I just, is there a reason that we have to keep talking about this woman?
Yes.
I mean, you talk about her making money. Why is Fox, why does anybody keep this load of?
Let me say, Bob. It would be weird if America was not obsessed about it. If we took this crime as with a grain of salt, then there's something wrong with us. People are understandably upset about it because it was evil and wrong. Right. If we just shrugged it off as another story, then we're weird.
Hey, Greg, if that had been a black woman and a black child, have we spent time on it?
Bob, why do you always do that, Bob?
Well, I always do that, Bob. I always do that, Bob. It's a legitimate question. I just ask a question.
That's not true.
Well, no, I ask a question. If they were black, would we be spending time with it?
What you're saying is that we
amount of attention, but nevertheless.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
You're kind of basically saying that we're racist.
But no, I'm not saying that. I don't think we are. But I think this case became obviously very sensationalized, and a lot of people like yourself, Greg, thought she was attractive. You're part of the problem. And now there are people. I got to show you guys this picture you're not going to.
You know when Bob's questioning
like
your judgment on women, you're really in trouble.
And this woman was actually attacked. Another woman hit her with her car, flipped the car because she said, quote, this is Shireen Nally, and she was arrested on charges of assault and battery with a deadly weapon. She told police she was trying to save the children because she thought this was Casey Anthony, and the car flipped and rolled over.
This happened to you. She ran over somebody who looked like Casey Anthony?
Didn't this happen to you, Bob? Somebody thought you were Randy Quaid.
There she is right there.
That's the girl. She was run over?
I'll tell you, you know what's even worse? It's worse when ABC pays the family for the story, or someone else is going to offer $1 million. But
that's because they know we're going to watch it.
Exactly.
Can I address Bob's point?
Yeah.
Fox isn't going to pay a dime for Casey Anthony, Cheney Mason, Jose Baez, or anyone else. But we have to know what's going on. We want to know what's going on.
I mean, you may want to know what's going on. To me, it's like a bad acid trip. I mean, we got to stop it.
But Bob, there are people in America who feel the same way, myself included, about talking about the debt ceiling. There are people that find that interminable. They happen to find this story interesting because it's a real story. It's a story that has good people, bad people, intrigue, rumor, sex, innuendo.
Lies.
This is lies. It's
Have you told your wife about your attraction?
Are we going to fund the protection for her when she gets out? Are they going to use this as evidence?
That's a great point because
my doppelganger got run down.
She wants to have she's going to use the fact that this woman who looks like her and the car got flipped. She's going to say, you know what? You owe me an obligation. I don't feel safe. She's received threats.
Too bad.
Listen, I agree. And if she's going to get $1 million from the guy, the producer associated with the Jerry Springer show, then you pay for it, Mama. You pay for it because we shouldn't have to shoulder it on our back.
This story is
you think that really she's going to ask that?
She needs, but they're going to give her minimal protection.
If anybody pays a dime to protect that woman, I mean,
and we want our money back. Bob,
that's right, and let Greg protect her.
And looking for her missing child that she knew was deceased.
Greg, would you protect her
for the right price?
Exactly.
I'll do anything for the right price.
Greg, I want to talk about something that you find fascinating: the good looks of Rob Lowe.
Oh yeah. He's actually going to be in the Drew Peterson movie, and I'm assuming he is playing Drew Peterson, which just shows you how screwed up Hollywood is. They always find somebody better looking than the criminal. Well, obviously because the criminals are never as good looking as the actor.
Sure.
But I'm not sure if he's actually playing him, but he's starring in it, so I'm assuming he is playing.
I hate to sound really stupid. Who is Drew Peterson?
Oh boy! So you just don't follow.
But he's Bob's a political animal.
He's the guy who killed all his wives in Chicago. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I thought he was a third.
Allegedly.
You know what?
They disappeared.
You don't drown in a dry bathtub.
Oh, I know some people have.
He's like, she drowned
Bob's
in a
almost
dry
been there about
I've
6 times,
seen it,
and that was last night.
I can tell you, I've seen people do that.
You've seen it?
Well, no. Let's move on.
That's only on
I still don't know who the guy is. I really thought we were talking about this baseball player.
All right, we're going to be happy now because we're not going to talk about Casey Anthony until next week.
No,
okay?
till never.
All right.
Till never. Please.
Well,
stop.
Bob, I've got some good news. Happy ending, because coming up on the 5 are the NFL owners and players making their way to the end zone with lockout negotiations. And later, we're going to be talking about friends with benefits and its link to communism, Bob, according to one celebrity. Maybe you can name her. Now, trust me, you don't want to miss a moment of this discussion when the 5 continues.